Well, good evening, everyone. If we could get everyone to come in, I'm going to give the ICTN the heads up here for a minute to set us up, and we'll start here in a minute. Shanae, we ready? You ready? Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our regular meeting of the Irving City Council for December 11th, 2025. It's a pleasure to have each and every one of you with us this evening. Sinead, do we have any organizational service announcements?
Yes, Mayor, we have Miss Susan Motley. You have 3 minutes. Please approach the dais.
I'm here on behalf of the League of Women Voters of Irving to invite all of you and all of the members of the community to a luncheon. It's called the Susan B. Anthony Luncheon that we will be having at the Las Colinas Country Club on Saturday, February 21st, 2026. That gives you a couple of months to put it on your calendar and get ready. But we intend to try to honor Susan B. Anthony's legacy and to raise awareness to the importance of voting often and recognizing outside influence in local elections, including the impact of dark money. So again, it's February 21st, 2026. It'll be from 11:30 to 1:30 at the Las Colinas Country Club, which is at 4400 North O'Connor. Thanks very much. We'd love to see all of you there.
Okay, if you'd please stand this evening, our invocation will be given by Reverend Shane Webb from the Woodhaven Presbyterian Church here in Irving.
Muy buenas tardes a todos y todas. Good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you, Council, Mr. Mayor, and the Irving City staff. I appreciate all that you do. We live in a great city. So let's go before our Lord in prayer, appreciative that we have such a diverse city, that there are many holidays that are taking place. Hanukkah's about to start, Kwanzaa, and Christmas. So there's a lot going on, a lot for us to be thankful for. So let's pray in a way that's appropriate for each of us in whatever faith we may believe. Holy God, we thank you for this night, for this city of Irving and the families and community that we foster. Lord, we pray that you would help people get involved and active, because that's how our city becomes better, as we work together, as we unify around common causes. Lord, grant us compassion and wisdom as we serve this city. We ask your blessing upon everyone in leadership, that we would continue to guide our city in a way that takes care of those at the bottom, the poor, the vulnerable, those who are pushed to the sides. Lord, that we would take care of them. I'm so thankful for this city and all the people that work hard to keep it a place of blessing. And God, we ask that you would give our leaders insight as they discern what is best for this city. And we ask this in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Webb. If you'd please remain standing, Mayor Pro Tem Block will lead us in the pledges.
Place your hand over your heart and recite the pledge with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, John. We've got a couple of proclamations to give tonight, so if I could get, to start with, if I could get Julie and the officers to join me down for prevention drunk driving this month. We'll have the proclamation ready to go. We have a proclamation for Impaired Driving Prevention Month. Whereas December is recognized nationally as Impaired Driver Prevention Month, an important time to raise awareness about the dangers of impaired driving and promote sober decision-making within our community. And whereas impaired drivers caused by alcohol and drugs remains one of the nation's deadliest crimes, tragically and needlessly endangering the lives of our citizens. And whereas, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, far too many lives are lost each year due to preventable crashes involving impaired drivers. With the holiday season being one of the deadliest periods on our roads, and whereas every individual is responsible for ensuring the safety of our roadways, and whereas the designation of non-impaired drivers, the use of public transit or rideshare services are a sample of profoundly life-saving measures. And whereas we commend the efforts of Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, local law enforcement, highway safety officials, and first responders who raise awareness, enforcing traffic safety laws and supporting victims of the violent crime. And whereas the Nationally Impaired Driving Prevention Month is an opportunity to underscore our commitment to promoting sober driving habits, eliminating impaired driving from our community, and honoring the memory of those who have needlessly lost their lives that were cut short. Now therefore, I, Rick Stouffer, Mayor of the City of Irving, and the Irving City Council do hereby proclaim the month of December 2025 is Impaired Driver Prevention Month in Irving, Texas. I'd like to ask Emma to come up from Mothers Against Drunk Drivers and share a few things with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Sure. All right, I'm getting older, so I gotta put my readers on. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank y'all so much for your support in this initiative. My name is Emma Duga. I'm the state program manager for MAD Texas. But we just wanted to just say a few words. You know, impaired driving is a pressing public safety issue throughout the holiday season. Holiday celebrations in year-end travel and winter weather all increase the risk of impaired driving, making December especially dangerous on our roads. In December 2023, 1,038 people have lost their lives due to alcohol-related crashes. In Texas, there were 120 deaths from impaired driving that month. And we've noticed through statistics that in the city of Irving, it's always an uptick in fatalities during this time of the year as well. So these numbers that show why our community needs more awareness and prevention. With the holiday season in full swing, MAD Texas urges everyone to take steps to keep our roads safe. So here are some important facts or safety tips that we're providing the public: to plan ahead and never drive impaired. So using a ride share or ask a sober driver or public transportation. If you are hosting, help guests arrange a safe way home or offer them a place to stay. Responsible hosts play a key role in preventing impaired driving, ensuring a safer holiday season. Discuss risky behaviors with your teens. The holiday season is an ideal time for parents to address underage drinking and encourage safe decisions. If you see something, say something. If you think someone is driving impaired, call 911. Your call could save a life or prevent a serious injury. Our message is very clear. If you plan to drink, make sure you have a safe way home. Taking this step can save lives, prevent injuries, and keep everyone on the road safe. So during December, which is Impaired Driving Prevention Month, we encourage everyone to share this message. Never drive impaired and always plan a safe ride home so all can enjoy the holidays. Thank you. Can I give you my cell or my email? Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm sure you're all wondering why we have all our firefighters standing back here in the back corner. If I could invite the gentleman to join me here on the stage. We have a proclamation for the 100 years of service that our fire department has provided for the city of Irving. Am I in trouble yet?
Sorry?
I just said, how are you doing? And you said, okay. I said, why? Am I in trouble?
No. Part of getting old, hearing aids,
Well, at least you have them. I'm too vain to get them, and I can't hear. So we have a proclamation for the 100 years that we've been fortunate to have an amazing group of men and women who have contributed so much to our community and protected so many years of mishaps that happen within fires and safety of that we have within our community. We're just very fortunate. So the proclamation reads, whereas the Irving Fire Department marks 100th anniversary of dedicated service to the community. Established in 1925, the department has grown from a small crew of volunteers into a highly trained team of professionals committed to protecting the lives and property of Irving residents. And whereas today the fire department includes more than 400 personnel operating out of 13 fire stations who are committed to protecting the 250,000 residents. Through the century, it has expanded its service to include EMS, as well as team specialists in hazard material, technical rescue, and swiftwater rescue. And whereas among its many achievements, the department has helped the city earn an Insurance Service Official Class 1 rating. The Irving Fire Department was also the first fire department in the state of Texas to be awarded the recognition for best practices from the Texas Fire Chiefs Association. The Irving Fire Department implemented the first of its kind blocker program, engaging at the state level in the passing of Senate Bill 1413 for ensuring firefighters' safety and continuing to advocate for cancer prevention measures evident by the establishment of Gray Lives Matter, a 501c3 nonprofit organized and dedicated to cancer research. And whereas throughout its century-long history, the department has consistently demonstrated courage, resilience, and support of the community by responding to countless emergencies like battling raging fires or providing critical medical assistance and hosting community outreach initiatives such as Citizens Fire Academy, Blue Christmas, CPR demonstrations, show and tell, and supplies for success. Now therefore, I, Rick Stouffer, Mayor of the City of Irving, and the Irving City Council do hereby recognize and honor the bravery and the sacrifices and steadfast commitment of the members past and present, and proclaim this 2025 milestone year in tribute to their legacy of 100 years service in the City of Irving. Congratulations, Chief. One of you got to speak.
Yeah, well, okay. I'll do my best. I get nervous in front of folks. Not really. First of all, thank you, council, management team, and I'm going to call you out, Chris, city manager. He's listened to me, been in his ear for going on 12 years. He's always supported the fire department. Every year we've made progress in everything we've done. So thank you, Chris, and thank you, council, for believing in your manager and supporting the budget. Next, I'd like to say 100 years. Wow. I've only been here for 40 of them. So I'm sure the yeah. And I can tell you, out of the 400 firefighters, you got a small representation right up here, you won't find another group that's got more of a can-do spirit than these folks right here. There's nothing they will back away from. There's not a challenge they're afraid of. I've seen them volunteer in this community and give back to this community. It's one of their primary goals is to give back to this community. They have built wheelchair ramps. They have worked at Brother Pastor Webb's church feeding the homeless. They've worked at the food bank. Irving Cares, I've seen them raise money for cancer research, and the list goes on and on. They've stuffed backpacks for children. They've worked at Miracle League baseball fields for those who had dreams of playing baseball and they got fulfilled. I cannot say enough about these men and women in the Irving Fire Department and their can-do spirit. But there's one thing they cannot do. They cannot outgive this community. This community has given this department a profession, a career that most people dream of. How do I know that? We had 1,100 plus people show up to take a test for the City of Irving Fire Department when I had 0 openings. That speaks volumes. That means you've got one of the best departments in the state, if not the nation, and I'm very proud of all the things that the men and women of this department have done. So with that, I want to say thank you, community, for all you've given us and your support. Most of all, this is your fire department, and we're reflecting on the 100 years we've been given the ability to serve you as public servants, and that's our ultimate goal, is to be public servants. We serve the community first, the department second, and ourselves last. That's what a public servant is. So thank you, we love you, and we appreciate your support. Our hands are clapping for y'all. Come on up here, Mayor. You're the main boss, right?
Yeah, the guys behind you.
Maybe your pretty pictures taking them off. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
You bet. Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. Come on up. Good to see you. You're doing well?
It's good to see you. I know, it's good to see you.
Well, it's that time of year where you'll start to hear the bells ringing. They've been ringing here for a few weeks or a few days. And that means that we have an opportunity through the Salvation Army to help a lot of people in need. So we have a proclamation for the season of giving. Whereas the men and women of the Salvation Army have dedicated their lives to service by proclaiming the gospel and serving as administrators, teachers, social workers, counselors, and youth leaders. And whereas in Irving, these volunteers are crucial partners in helping the Salvation Army fulfill its promise of doing the most good. Nearly 250 people of all ages give their time, talent, and resources to meet human needs without discrimination. And whereas the Salvation Army provides important services to the Irving community, including a food pantry, heating and cooling stations during extreme weathers, and additional support for men and women and children experiencing poverty. And whereas their services are provided free of charge, which is made possible by the financial support of the local citizens who give through their various channels, including the Salvation Army's annual Red Kettle campaign. And whereas the goal of $104,871 for this year's holiday campaign, the Salvation Army of Irving is seeking volunteers to fulfill more than 1,000 two-hour shifts as bell ringers, allowing you to help raise funds to provide shelter, hot meals, or gifts for the forgotten angels in our community. Now therefore, I, Rick Stouffer, Mayor of the City of Irving, and the Irving City Council do hereby proclaim the 2025 holiday season as the season of giving. So I would like to award you this proclamation and have you say a few words.
Well, thank you, Mayor Stouffer. Thank you, City Council members. Thank you, supporters of the Salvation Army, friends and family. The Salvation Army is just in tremendous need for the support that you provide for us throughout this year. We are out in your communities ringing the bells, but we are, as the mayor said, we're at a deficit of volunteers. There's a great opportunity for you and your family members to come and dress in your finest ugly Christmas sweater and ring a bell at the local Salvation Army supporters, the stores, the Walmarts, the Walgreens, and Kroger stores in the area. And what that does, it helps raise funds for the Salvation Army in a tremendous way so that we can put food in people's homes and we can meet needs that happen throughout the year in the community of Irving. Need has no season. And the people that we have the opportunity to bless and serve, we do throughout the year, but those funds all start here. So we need your help. And one way you can do that is you can simply go to registertoring.org. It's an opportunity for you to fill in a 2-hour slot, or you can fill in more than 2 hours, but it's in 2-hour increments. Gives you a great opportunity to not only ring a bell with your family, but go out there and meet the lovely people of Irving. So we thank you for your support. Thank you, Mayor Stouffer, for the proclamation.
So we're going to go ahead and start.
Oh, yeah. Start. Do you have someone to take a picture?
Stand over. You want to take my
Okay. Thank you. We're fine.
Okay, we got through all that. I guess I could say if anybody in the audience wants to give, they can. If anybody in the audience would like to give, we're more than happy to come by as well. We got it started, Al. We got the season started. Thank you all, and good luck with everything. Okay, the next item on our agenda is public comments. Shanae, do we have residents who would like to speak this evening?
Yes, Mayor, we do. Public comments provides the opportunity to our citizens to address the council on items that are not listed on the regular agenda. The council will listen, but they will not respond as they are restricted from deliberation by the Texas Open Meeting Act. While the mayor and council may not respond, you're welcome to contact them directly. Their phone numbers and emails are listed on the website, and a meeting can be requested. If your comments require a response, the follow-up will be handled by the communications team. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes. I will let you know when 1 minute is left. Please state your name and address prior to your comments. A professional presentation is requested. Any handouts you wish to provide to the council members should be given to the police officers on either side of the chamber. Please do not approach the dais. If you just have one handout, give it to me because I hold the official records. Our first speaker is Nan Collier, followed by Joshua Chirima Mutu.
Hello, my name is Nan Collier. I am one of the.
Could
board
you
of-
please pull the microphone down a little bit closer to you so we can hear you?
How about this?
Perfect,
Okay.
thank you.
I am not a public speaker person, okay?
No, you're good.
But thank you for your time. I am a board member of the Regency Park condominiums that's located in District Number 1. And I know District Number 3 councilman has a lot of experience with homeowner association. We have had an issue between two neighbors. In March, one of the neighbors filed a complaint with the code enforcement officers. Now, we, back in 10/24, addressed the situation with the owner that filed the complaint, owner 110 against 109. We provided different information to the code. It ended up going to court. The city manager, the city attorney worked out a deal with code enforcement, and the owner on 109 to come back out to the property so they have a view of it, and we settled that case. They changed the decision from 109 being responsible, but put it back on 110. But they also added in the response back to us that we had to enforce her to make the repairs, okay? We've been trying to get this settled since 2024. She has not cooperated. It's a code enforcement problem, but the code enforcement has decided that we should take it as a civil matter.
1 minute left.
And we are asking the council to review this because it's technically a code violation of the city, and the city should do the same standard that they did with the other gentleman of 109. And that's what we're requesting. I appreciate your time. It's not easy, as District 3 councilman knows, to be on the board, but we follow the rules. I have brought the communication, a copy of all the communications that I'm aware of since 2024, and I ask for y'all to direct the code to do the same standards that they did with the other owners. Thank you for your time.
Ms. Collier? Ms. Collier? Thank you so much for coming down. We do appreciate it. If you have a few minutes right now, I'd like to, if you haven't had a chance to yet, talk with Shane Diller. Shane's right there in the back, raising his hand. He's our code enforcement director.
Okay.
If you would please get with him, and he'll be happy to follow up, and he'll make sure that all that information will get out to the council as well. So if you have a few moments to meet with Shane, we'd be happy to continue to talk with you.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
your time.
Joshua Chiramutu, followed by John Rockwell.
Honorable Mayor, City Councilors, congratulations to the newly elected City Councilman and woman. I would want to take this opportunity to thank my friend, the Mayor, for his illustrious sterling services to the city of Irving. I'm a resident of this city, my family for 25 years. I've known the mayor for as long as I can remember. Particularly, I want to thank him for his very forthright and forceful effort to establish the museum, the IAM, Irving Archives Museum. It was because of his effort that we had overcome all previous challenges, and the museum has now been recognized globally for its sterling service to this city and this nation. Further, sir, I would like to wish and to congratulate the leadership of the museum for their services too. I'm here, sir, to address a particular issue that I've been struggling with for the past 5 years. The city drilled under my house lot through the driveway and had made my driveway compromised. When I complained, the city sent an adjuster. They went in their head and they adjusted and said that the city is liable. However, I wrote to the city, Mr. Mayor, I had sent you a copy of this letter, and I have been...
1 minute left.
I've received attention from you and from Mr. Trevor Crane and Mr. Crane's predecessor, but notwithstanding, there have been negative efforts. Continually, my driveway is sinking. I want to repair it, but I'm afraid that doing so would entail the same difficulty I have. It will keep on sinking, and I will face further issues. Further, sir, I want to build a carport. I can't do this, and because of the sinking driveway. If I can have somebody visit and see what is happening, I can assure you that it is sinking because I daily keep an eye and see what's happening. So, Mr. Hillman, if I can have your attention, sir.
3 minutes.
Somebody address this issue. Thank you very much. I appreciate your...
Joshua, thank you so much for coming down and talking to us about some of your thoughts on your driveway. Niall is responsible for our risk management group, who is helping to, it sounds like, at least begin to process or has talked to you about some of your liability claims. And I don't see Trevor. I'm looking for Trevor as well. Oh, Trevor, could you join Niall as well? Trevor is the director of our CIP, and I think with the two of them, I'd like for them to sit down with you if you have a few minutes right now, talk to you about this issue, and at least provide some more information and help guide and direct you through some of our processes. Would that be all right?
That will be okay,
All right,
sir.
thank you very much.
Merry Christmas. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Niall and Trevor, could you please raise your hand just so he knows? They're right back there. Thank you.
Thank you. John Rockwell, followed by Luke Malone.
Honorable Mayor Rick Stouffer and to Irving City Council. My name is John Rockwell. I am an independent activist, and I lead peaceful public prayer events to inform the community about the sexually explicit and pedophilic books in the Irving Library. During a protest, an LGBT supporter screamed at my group from the top of his lungs saying, "Go kill yourselves." I kindly responded by saying, "God bless you, sir. We are praying for you. Please be careful on the road." He kept telling me and my friends to kill ourselves, and as he drove past my protest, one of my friends thought he was going to drive into the sidewalk and run us over. Thankfully, this LGBT supporter decided not to. How should everyday Americans respond to LGBT bullying? With prayer, courtesy, and even love for our enemies. Nothing I say here today is about hatred. It is only for love of God and for love of all people. At the same time, we must stand up to the bullying of those who want to promote sodomy, perversion, unnatural vice, transgender mutilation, and sexually deviant behavior that harms both innocent children and adults. We must peacefully and persistently stand up for the complete and total removal of perverse pride books in the Irving Library. This peaceful and loving resistance is exactly what my friends and I have done since August 2025. During protest, we hold a large 5 by 8 foot banner that says, "Remove perverse pride books from Irving Library." While praying the Holy Rosary, we also held signs that said, "Honk against pride for all ages. Honk against LGBT child grooming. Honk against unnatural LGBT sins." Over the course of 5 rallies, we have obtained more than 1,322 honks from passing drivers. The public at large is made aware and is resisting the homosexual agenda in Irving. On November 22nd, we broke a record, 561 honks, according to this counter in a single protest. On August 30th, we obtained 336 honks, even though we had to stand and pray in the pouring rain. Yes, 20 people, young and old, men and women, stood in the pouring rain to prayerfully protest against the perverse pride books at the Irving Public Library. Honorable Mayor and council members, I commend you for voting to move some of the books to the adult section, but this is not enough. Pedophilic books should obviously not be in the library at all.
1 minute.
I'm aware that there is pressure and bullying from the misguided and poor souls of the LGBT lobby. But why be afraid? Why be bullied? Why not instead be a hero and stand up to defend the innocence and purity of children? But if you won't, we will continue to fight. Rain or shine, we will continue to fight, peacefully and prayerfully, in the public square. Because homosexual pride is hideous and unnatural. Homosexual perversion invokes God's wrath against our nation. God bless America and not Sodom and Gomorrah. God is watching. God bless you all, and I pray you make the right choice.
Luke Malone, followed by Nathan Kinley. Please, can you please
Yeah,
raise your microphone?
Raise the microphone just a little bit so we can make sure we hear you.
You're tall.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Clock rolling. Good evening. My name is Luke Malone. I live on 1615 Oyman Road. Honorable Mayor, ladies and gentlemen of Irving City Council, brave firefighters and policemen, and citizens of Irving. Just like Mr. John Rockwell, I'm here to discuss the sensitive topic of whether we should allow LGBT books at the children's section of the library. This topic has been going on for a whole decade now. It's been getting a lot more steam recently. But the issue of exposing children to LGBT lifestyle is hardly anything new nor innovative. Yet it doesn't happen in a vacuum either. It is not something that is organic. It is always preceded by a previous movement. And amidst the heavily promoted and well-funded gay movement of the 90s, there was an organization called NAMBLA. For those of you who don't remember, and for those of you who never heard of it, it is called the North American Man Love, Boy Love Association. For those of you who will remember, its mission was to abolish age of consent between older men and young boys and advocating for release of convicted predators. They were caught doing this since the late 70s. And getting caught is what set the stage for the formation of the group. The idea in the group was to normalize and exploit children's innocence, which many found rightfully repulsive, and they all shut it down and condemned it. Everyone agreed they should be condemned, but the core values have not gone away. See, the bigger picture cannot be ignored. The assault of a minor is specifically pedophilic, but the act itself is unmistakably homosexual, regardless of the age difference and manufactured consent. So, because it's basically a violation of the Reproductive Act, homosexuality, it ends up mocking the Reproductive Act. It is unnatural. Because it's unnatural, it is an act of violence against nature and a perversion of healthy societal values. When in union with nature, people are kind and a high trust society organically forms. Yes. Therefore, promoting sexual deviant behavior has severely maimed us as a nation. Everyone who has been assaulted has a story, and instead of seeking justice for what happened to them, instead they manage to cope with it and say, well, I was always gay. It could be further from the truth. Groups like NAMBLA are no longer necessary, as the presence of the LGBT movement has nonetheless intrinsically found its way into our culture and our politics. Well, where does that leave you, Irving? Well, you are doing good by speaking against the grooming. Because of your stand, the moral fabric of our community continues to be strengthened. Don't just say no to the pervasive influence of the LGBT movement, but oppose it entirely. I urge the city to remove the pride books from the children's section of the Irving Public Library. We must take many steps, and especially during the season where we celebrate the coming of the most innocent child. Thank you.
Thank you. Nathan Kinley. Please, this is not a pep rally. Can we refrain from clapping? Nathan Kinley, followed by Susan Motley.
City Councilman, Mr. Mayor, I have also come to speak about the same issue the last two speakers have talked about, and that is the pedophilic LGBT books in our libraries. And putting LGBT books in libraries are an attempt to normalize homosexual and transgender lifestyles to children. Both normal Americans and those a part of the LGBT movement will agree with this statement. But why must we normalize this? Well, to be frank, there is nothing normal about it. There is nothing normal about a homosexual union that cannot produce offspring. There's nothing normal about a biological male pretending to be a female. No, this is not natural. And despite millions of dollars of funding towards studying this, there's no one has found a genetic cause for such attractions. And in fact, due to studies from government organizations and nonprofits, they have found that a vast majority of those who identify as LGBT have been sexualized when they were children, many of them being abused by another person. This is a very sad instance, but their innocence was removed. So I appeal to you today to protect our children's innocence. because it is something beautiful. It is one of the most beautiful things on God's green earth. It's not a simple byproduct of their youth, but it is a gift from God, and they have the right, according to natural law and divine mandate, to maintain it. Moreover, it is the duty of the public to defend it. For even our Lord said that it would be better for a man to die than to harm the innocence of children. So I understand that some of the books have been moved to the adult section, but the right of a child's innocence should not be threatened every time they walk into our libraries.
1 minute left.
I thank you for listening to me.
Susan Motley, followed by Molly Ruth McElmel. I'm sorry. Yep, that's correct.
Good evening, Councilman, Mr. Hillman, Mayor, and members of the community. I'm Susan Motley, 2617 Still Meadow Road, Irving, 75060. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge that we in Irving have lots of options about the books that we read in our library and the topics that we expose our own children to. We have choices. We can exercise them. We can be adults. We do not need to demonize or separate those that are LGBT in our community by calling them abnormal or any other term that means to separate them. I did not come up here to talk about the books in the library. I came up to talk to you about the Irving Ethics Code, which I know you care about and you're working on, and I appreciate, and I've addressed before. So I'm going to pivot to that topic that I originally intended to talk about, but I just want to tell all of the heterosexuals, homosexuals, and asexuals in this room who may be watching also online, you have choices. Exercise them. And perhaps if those who are not happy with Irving would like policy changes made that are not happening fast enough, maybe they want to move to a different community that better aligns with their values. Irving is a diverse place, and we should celebrate it. I would note that the Ethics Code of Conduct, number 11 in that, requires all persons either elected or appointed or appointees to boards or commissions, persons employed or under contract with the city, and lobbyists to comply with the Ethics Code. And number 11 on that says those individuals should not engage in or facilitate any discriminatory or harassing behavior directed towards city staff, other board members, officers, directors, meeting attendees, exhibitors, advertisers, sponsors, suppliers, contractors, or others in the context of activities relating to the city. Because I've got 3 minutes, I'll wrap up quickly on this Irving Ethics Code. I really want to thank you for your efforts, particularly Mr. Pfaff and Mr. Cronenwet, who I understand have been working together since the June 2025 meeting on this and may soon present some changes to you. If you work on anything at all, please focus on the resolution aspects of this policy. A complaint process that goes into a black hole with no resolution is not effective. In closing, I just want to thank everyone that works for the city, all of you who serve, thank you for your service, and I want to thank Lynette Robertson in particular.
Please refrain from clapping. Molly Ruth McElmel, and I will call others as they come.
Thank you again for this opportunity to share about child health and safety in light of recent laws. I am Molly Ruth McElmel, living at a protected address in South Irving. Please keep in mind that I'm referencing children to secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, and children are posterity. It does include also establishing justice. We cannot take one ethical principle or one constitutional principle outside of the context of the others. In the post-World War II era, Alfred Kinsey released literature imploring the following: launching a sexual revolution, redefining laws to remove protections for minors that were victimized by sex crimes, including pornography and more. While many stated the thoughts for adults were intriguing, an overwhelming majority did not agree with Kinsey's findings and research that he used in attempts to redefine laws for all, and most often that he used to redefine laws of crimes to minors. Alfred Kinsey's research findings for all, and most definitely for minors, were found to be unscientific and statistically invalid as it pertained to this issue. 1948 to 1953, New York Times, Time Magazine, and other mainstream media news sources provided responses from mental health professionals, educators, law enforcement, and medical professionals about the dangerous impact of redefining the laws using such terms as global legal fiction, unjustifiable, illegitimate manipulation of the data, senseless as it pertained to changing laws on the basis of the unscientific findings, and distressing. 1996 to 2025, PBS posted on their website the dangers of overly sexualized content to children and the dangers of the obscenity exemption. Liberty University in 2018, the National Institute for Health in 2020, concernedwomen.org, and others into 2025 also released the same health concerns with staggering statistics. Since ratings still exist and are enforced for videos, movies, and television, and since stores still have restrictions by law, I recommend that our libraries implore the same and adhere to laws and health standards. Please do not enforce the obscenity exemption. Please provide a learning environment in our libraries centered around care, nurture, and healthy living. When I inquired of our purchasing departments for Irving on November 6, 2025, I found that funds in our city are not permitted for use that would condone, fund, and or support illegal practices including polygamy, trafficking, and or exploitation. They also are not to fund, support, and or condone groups that contribute to those malicious activities. Once again, as a mental health professional and educator with a school health and safety business, I recommend ratings as indicated in previous meetings. Parental controls and limits implored by others also work well. Again, please use removal of content as appropriate instead of overly sexual content that goes against the health standards and the core values of libraries, learning centers, and the education community. Thank you.
Thank you. Aaron Purdue. Vicki Norman, you're going to be next.
Good evening, Erin Purdue, 2001 Meadow Lark. I'm here to discuss the lack of neutral, unbiased information on certain topics with regard to library books that are accessible to our children. One of these topics is regarding information on transgender procedures. Specifically, I'm referring to the books in the Irving Library in the youth section that promote transgender procedures. These books are available to minors. Many of these kids have just gone through puberty and are only beginning to know who they are with regard to their God-given biological identity and normal gender. Perhaps as a result of libraries not giving them both the cons as well as the pros of transitioning argument, tens of thousands of children are now expressing transgender regret. Transitioning is a word that sounds nice, but in reality describes drastic surgical procedures to cut off one or more body parts. This also involves taking anatomy-changing and mind-altering drugs which change a child's normal body irreversibly. SexRegret.com is a ministry for detransitors which receives 40,000 inquiries per month. Clearly, this problem of children questioning their gender identity is more widespread than we ever imagined. The good news about this is that our librarians in charge could, if they wanted to, attempt to be unbiased on this issue. Purchase some factual and biographical books. These have recently come out about the harm of transgender interventions, especially to youth. I would now like to request that our library purchase some of these books, and a list of these good books can be provided to you. In summary, we are not in any way judging the children or their grossly mistaken parents for the sad decision to change their body forever and torpedo their future. Their parents have, unfortunately, believed the lie that unless you let your child transition, they will commit suicide or try to. As a counselor from Canada told a group of mothers at a recent Legacy conference, the truth is that if you let them transition, they will afterward realize that it's irreversible and then will attempt to end their life. Many of them will succeed. What we can do as parents, teachers, doctors, and counselors of these precious children, we must be the voice of reason that stops them from harming themselves. As a personal note, I was a young woman that had a mastectomy years ago. It was a very serious procedure. I did it because of breast cancer to save my life, not to harm it. My hope is that, and my prayer is that we will get some of the good books that warn the children and parents not to do this. We ask the library staff to provide these to us. Thank you.
Vicki Norman, followed by Kim Black.
Good evening, City Council and Mayor. My name is Vicki Norman. I live at 1015 Sleepy Hollow Drive North. I'm going to sound very calm after what we have just heard, but we're asking for reasonable safeguards for children from sexualized materials which are not only which are age appropriate. We do not want materials that violate the standards of state and federal obscenity, indecency, and pornography laws, which exist in order to protect minors. I appreciate the city management's acknowledgement of the Llano County decision, which allows citizens to curate their libraries and that they do not have to carry sexually explicit materials to minors. Moving books to the adult area or restricting children's access to pornography is not book banning. There's not one book banned in the entire United States, state of Texas, or Irving. Parents can access sexual materials and choose to share these materials with their children when and if they feel they are appropriate, and that's why they need to be kept in the parents' area of the library. We hear repeatedly that we have a diverse community, and that means we must carry sexually explicit materials to minors. A diverse community does not remove the responsibility of our city to protect children from pornography and obscenities. We are not against characters in books. I'm not against characters in books who identify diversely. We are against the explicit descriptions and pictures of sexual acts, even in the babies area of the library. Protecting children from obscene materials should be a nonpartisan issue. There's even a group called Gays Against Groomers that is against sexually explicit materials in the library. The Irving ISD recognizes this problem. In the IPL, the school district does not allow any students, even high school age, to access the ebook YA area of the IPL, no to the obscene content. We haven't had this problem in other libraries in the city. Other library directors have responded to community concerns, which are everywhere. These directors have made changes to their policies without the denial of the problem and the drama, which we have seen here for the last 6.5 years in Irving. As you are aware, Arlington, the library director, voluntarily implemented many changes in response to patrons' concerns. And one of those is the revised request for reconsideration book appeal process to include 2 library board members. And last year, she had 24 forms filed. She's moved and weeded books based on this system. And she keeps the board updated, and the form is very easily submissible to all of the people involved. They're immediately notified if a request inquiry is made, and our system is not as efficient. In Bedford, all of the library board members are included in the review of challenged books.
3 minutes.
Oh, I didn't get a 1 minute warning.
You did.
Did I? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Well, you got the email today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vicki. Kim Black, followed by Jefferson Braga.
Kim Black, 1625 Faircourt. When I was 10 years old, I saw E.T. in the movie theater. It instantly became my favorite movie. As an adult, I reflected on why that movie was so important to me, and I realized that the family in the movie reflected my family. Single mom working hard, dad off doing whatever, kids running the house. Everyone deserves to see themselves reflected in books, TV, and movies. A public library is a community-focused nonprofit institution supported by taxes that offers free access to organized collections and services for education, information, and recreation to everyone. Books with LGBTQIA characters can give young people hope for what their life can someday be. These books offer validation, they can potentially save lives, and they can help foster empathy for LGBTQIA people and cisgendered and heterosexual people. Recently, the Families for Irving PAC member Flory Mallory became the head of the library board. Her donations to the Families for Irving PAC purchased 4 of our city council members, and they in turn rewarded her with this position. In the last board meeting, she said, "We need to remove the gay books from the library." So let's discuss some facts. For LGBTQIA people aged 10 to 24, suicide is one of the leading causes of death. LGBTQIA kids are 4 times more likely to attempt suicide than their peers. The CDC reported in 2022 that suicide was the second leading cause of death for 10 to 14-year-olds. According to the nonprofit The Trevor Project, an LGBTQIA young person attempts suicide every 45 seconds in America. Research supports that only 1/3 of LGBTQIA kids in America report that their parents accept who they are. A 2009 study found that LGBTQIA young adults who experience rejection from their parents are 8 times more likely to attempt suicide. That's why they commit suicide. One affirming adult in their lives can significantly lower the risk. I know that the members of the Families for Irving PAC believe that they are pro-life. Affirming everyone is the type of pro-life I practice. Why would you remove a book from the library that could potentially save a young person's life? Actually be pro-life, Miss Mallory and the Families for Irving PAC and our Families for Irving City Council members. And stop threatening gay
3
kids
minutes.
in Irving by removing
Thank you,
a
Ms. Black.
necessary lifeline.
Jefferson Braga, please.
It'll adjust
It'll
automatically.
adjust on its own once they turn it on.
Give it just one quick second, please. There we go.
They'll adjust it from up here.
Sounds good. All right. Good evening, councilmen, council ladies, and fellow citizens. How are y'all? Today I had some really good news. I found this this week. It's going to be due at the end of the month, but it is a grant that's available to everybody in Dallas. All right, to help out with the infrastructure around the food, around the schools, around the churches, and even neighborhoods. If you're an individual or an establishment that wants to put fruit trees down, that wants to get engaged, you can easily write a proposal. I recommend that you look at 100 trees, okay? Why 100? Because that's 10,000 pounds of fruit in 2 to 3 years if you do it right. That's quite a lot for the neighborhoods and communities. I think it's a really good opportunity, and so I highly recommend it. And this is from the Dallas County Health and Human Services.
One gentle lady that I met this past week that introduced it to me was Cynthia Sharp. She's on the trees and the rec board, and I recommend anybody get with her as well on this because she's very bright. She's a master gardener, and if anybody's looking for any further support, I really recommend you get on social. All right, why? Because on social, there are fig trees galore all over the place. All right, $5 to $10, you get a fig tree. Mulberries, same thing. There's a lot of people propagating, and for your church, for your community, it's very easy to put down. Consider it also for HOAs, right? 100 fruit trees in 100 homes. Again, 10,000 pounds of fruit. It's not nothing. And we all see what's happening with the food these days. Another thing is just this week, there was a big announcement in sustainable agriculture at the very top level. So there's more money coming down the path in this avenue. So if people get started, it really starts to snowball and will grow a whole lot more. And in that venture, you know, I've got some seeds. All right, if anybody would like some kale, some radishes, or some
1 minute.
giant Swiss chard, they are available at the door. That's this evening's little seed pack. And with that, let's see. Yeah, if anybody would also like any ideas or any help, I highly recommend checking out our website. It's been a good 5 years of updating different articles and sharing different things. It's bragafarmsdfw.com, and it talks on the food in Irving as well as in Dallas and across the nation. So do check it out. If anybody needs any help, please reach out. Thanks so much, and have a great day.
That concludes our speakers, Mayor.
Thank you, Shanae. The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda, which is items 2 through 37. Is there any items anyone wish to pull? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
Motion for approval.
A motion and a second. Would you please vote? And it passes unanimously. So the next item on our agenda is the zoning cases. If we have anyone with us this evening that wishes to speak on either for or against any of our zoning cases, if you would please stand. Our City Secretary, Shanae Jennings, will swear you in.
Please stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that all statements which you will make tonight to the City Council of the City of Irving will be the truth and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, Shanae. Our first item is 2025-27ZC, considering a zoning change from R 7.5, single-family residential 7.5, to SP2 R 7.5, generalized site plan, single-family residential 7.5, with variances to the minimum side yard setbacks and maximum size of a carport at 1629 Glen Valley Drive. Shanae, do we have anyone signed up to speak?
No, sir.
Do we have the applicant with us? Good evening.
Buenas noches. Mi nombre es Jaime Cabral. No hablo inglés. Ella va a interpretar. Yo vivo en el 1629 Glen Valley. Estoy aquí por lo de que hice la carpa sin permiso. Y la vecina fue a mi casa y me dijo que por ella no había problema. Ella dijo que vendría aquí, pero no sé qué pasó con ella.
Ma'am or sir, is somebody translating?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's Jaime Cabral. He lives in 1629 Glen Valley Drive. He's coming for the situation of building the porch without a permit, and due to the neighbor, she approached him a couple of days ago, telling him that there was not a problem with her, because I guess when she put in the report, she was thinking that the water, when raining or so, was going to be falling in her yard or side of her yard, which is not. She already saw that it's leaning towards the alley or towards that little river that falls towards. He was considering of moderating it or shortening it or so, That's when she approached him, talking to him. So we want to find a solution so that way we respect the rules, and he apologizes for not knowing that he was supposed to get a permit. This is his first home that he ever buys. It's different from renting than from living in his own house.
I didn't mean to interrupt y'all. I just wanted to make sure that there was an interpreter and the council could understand. And y'all do have extra time as a result.
Yes, thank you. I came with him last time, that's why I'm
Okay,
coming
okay.
as needed.
Y como les digo, la vecina me dijo que no había problema. Ya traté si lo movía, me dijo que por ella no había ningún problema. Si hay una multa, de mi parte estoy consciente que la tengo que pagar. No me hago para atrás. No, lo que ustedes decidan está bien.
As he had said it before, the neighbor talked to him, but he knows that he has to respect the rules, and if there's any fine that he has to pay, or what would he need to do, he would do it. So he has to follow the law.
All right. Are there any questions of the applicant? Dennis?
No, I don't have no questions. I'm ready to make a motion. You know, I mean, this carport's been there for I don't know how long. The neighbors don't have a problem with it. Yeah, it's a 700 and some square foot carport, but in the 14 years I've been on this council, I've seen all kind of sizes of carports and garages. I remember one time we had a 1,400 square foot garage built in the back of a house, and we approved it. So at the end of the day, the neighbors don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it, so I'll make a motion for approval.
Mark?
Yeah, I oppose the case. This is, it's just a situation where, just like any resident could come out and want a carport, but there's been no special circumstance that's been given that warrants an exception from the rule, a variance from the rule. So without any justification for either the extraordinarily large size of it, which is an 82.5% variance, or any sort of reason for justifying a variation from the 3-foot variance from the side setback, then a case has not been presented to justify a variance, so I oppose the case.
Luis, did you want to make a motion?
I just wanted to second. Dennis, I know this is one of those moments, so.
So we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, would you please vote? And it passes 6-3. Okay? It passed 6-3.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Item number 39 is ordinance.
Thank you. You can go ahead. It passed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Item number 39 is ordinance 2025-216ZC. The applicant has requested that this be withdrawn. I need a motion to that effect.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Would you please vote? I think it was me. And it passed unanimously. Item number 40 is 2025-360ZC, considering a zoning change from CC Community Commercial to State Highway 183 overlay to SP2 Generalized Site Plan, Community Commercial, and State Highway 183 overlay, outdoor storage, and the accessory use of outside motorcycle training at 2602 West Airport Freeway, being the northwest corner of the Irving Mall. Do we have anyone signed up to speak, Shanae?
No, sir. Well, you didn't sign up, but are you the applicant?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure that if we have somebody signed up, that I make sure and call on them before the applicant. Okay. We have the applicant with us.
Yes. Good evening, Mayor Stopfer and members of the council. My name is Karen Vieira, 2730 Morgan Lane, Trophy Club, Texas. I, along with my husband, we are the owners of Go Motorcycle Training School, and we thank you for letting me speak tonight. Statewide data from TxDOT shows that the riders who have completed formal training who have not completed formal training are much more likely to be involved in serious crashes. That is why the state of Texas requires anyone getting a motorcycle license to take a safety course. Our goal is simple: make sure Irving residents have local, convenient access to that training so they can ride safely and legally. Our company is licensed by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation and the Motorcycle Safety Foundation. Our program is strictly regulated by the state and is part of a statewide initiative in partnership with the Texas A&M Transportation Institute focused on enhancing motorcycle education and improving rider safety. This initiative helps ensure that motorcycle training across Texas is research-based, consistent, and designed to build a safer, more informed riding community. Finding a place that meets the state's strict safety requirements can be challenging. That is why nationwide, even here in Texas, motorcycle schools use mall parking lots. Irving Mall, in particular, gives us what most sites simply cannot: a wide-open, low-traffic area with predictable conditions, along with access to restroom and nearby places to eat. Having our training specifically at Irving Mall makes the experience safe, accessible, and convenient for students, which in turn encourages more people to take the course and become safer riders. So here's how our classes work. Students start with a classroom session, then they practice hands-on riding in a small 60 by 200-foot section in the northwest corner of Irving Mall's parking lot. We put a 30-foot buffer around the riding area and cone off the section. Students practice balance, braking, accident avoidance, and emergency maneuvers under the supervision of state-certified instructors. Each class has no more than 8 students, and only registered students are allowed to attend. When the class ends, we remove all cones and clear the space. We never block mall traffic, public roads, or emergency access. Our setup is minimal, it's small, it's quiet, and it's temporary. We're usually done before most shoppers even arrive. Minimal impact, but maximum benefit. We're here tonight to ask for your support to continue offering this state-required training to Irving residents at this location, where the environment is ideal and the program can operate safely and effectively. Thousands of riders have gained skills and confidence through our program, and our almost 1,000 plus 5-star Google reviews show the difference it makes. Keeping this training at Irving Mall ensures residents can complete their licensing requirements closer to home in a safe, consistent, and accessible setting, helping make our Texas roads safer for everyone. Thank you, Mayor Stopfer and members of the council, for your time and consideration, and I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you. David?
Yeah, what are your hours of operation?
Typically 8 to 1:30, and that is, of course, weather permitting. So sometimes we might make an adjustment to start a little later if there's bad weather.
7 days a week or weekends or?
Usually, right now, our schedule is usually a Monday, Tuesday class, a Thursday, Friday class, and Saturday, Sundays. Is usually the bulk of our training because that's when people are more available to take the training.
Well, I've been around Irving a long time, and that's where I learned to drive. My mom would take me to that parking lot right there and learn how to drive a stick shift, if y'all young kids remember that, you Boy Scouts.
Exactly.
That'd be a good Boy Scout lesson, is to learn how to drive a stick shift at some point. But thank you for coming. I'll be supporting you, but thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Adam.
And I just wanted to say that as an alumnus of your school, I think you all do a superb job. So just for everyone's context, they take riders of every experience level, even total beginners, and get them capable on a motorcycle, understand the road conditions and the safety laws and everything. I do acknowledge Councilman Cronowitz's point from the work session earlier today about the future of the property, but I will be supporting this case and really appreciate the work that you all do.
Thank
it's an
you.
excellent job. Great experience.
Thank you.
Al?
Well, I think either David or Adam ought to be the ones to move this and second it. Don't you think so?
I was going to say motion to approve if there's no more conversation.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, would you please vote? And it passes 8-1.
Thank you.
The next item is number 41, which is 2025396ZC, considering a zoning change from SP2 Generalized Site Plan Freeway to State Highway 161 Overlay Warehouse and Light Manufacturing with a variance to the location of required parking to SP2 Freeway, Generalized Site Plan Freeway, State Highway 161 Overlay Warehouse, Lighting, Manufacturing, Aircraft Engine Assembly, Disassembly, and Replacement with variances to the location of required parking at 3615 Block Drive. The applicant with us this evening?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Would you please vote? It passes unanimously. Item number 42 is 2025398ZC, considering a zoning change from R6 Single Family Residential 6 to SP2 R6 Generalized Site Plan, Single Family Residential 6, and variance allowances to a carport to encroach in the front and the side yard, and the residential driveway design standards at 3322 William Brewster Drive. Is the applicant with us? Good evening.
So, council, I'm assuming that you guys can see the presentation?
Yes.
Okay. Evening, Mr. Mayor, council representatives. I want to thank you for the time this evening to come before you and just kind of present our case. My name is Mike Tillman, Joy, my wife. We live at 3322 William Brewster Drive, and we're here tonight to just see about trying to, make a reasonable request for a setbacks variance to be able to build a reasonable carport, 20 by 20, which is what the city allows. And if we go to the next slide real quick. Can I advance them?
Yes, you can use the arrows on the keyboard there if you want. There's a drawer. Or just pull out the drawer right below the, right below your belts. Just right there.
Oh,
Yep.
it's hidden.
Pull the drawer out there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
What happened? There it
There you
goes.
go.
So yeah, just a few key points real quick. I know you guys have had a long day. The home was built in 1958. My parents bought this home new. I actually grew up in this house. With the exception of about 10 years, I've lived in this home. I'm 71, retired now. So I've seen a lot of changes in Irving, seen a lot come and go. This home was built, like I said, post-war, single drive, very small, 3-bedroom, 1-bath, single-car garage. If you had a car, a lot of people didn't have cars back in those days. I remember my parents carpooling with the neighbors just to get to jobs, get to work and back. So we actually had the drive widened over a period of time because we had larger vehicles, and for street safety reasons, we had 4 or 5 cars over the years we've lived there actually hit in front of the house, parked in front of the house and totaled. So it became a point of expense and insurance issues and premiums to try to keep the vehicles off the streets. So we just widened it for that safe and then make it wide enough for cars to sit side by side. Currently, we have no protection for the elements in severe weather. The carport is necessary to protect our newer and larger vehicles. So again, I'm saying we're requesting 20 by 20. That's the maximum the city will allow. Current restrictions are severely limiting, and it's almost like there's a one-size-fits-all being applied across the city. And, I think there has to be some kind of flexibility in these areas if you can within reason. Our proposal requires the setbacks as we have submitted. And as I've looked at it, the setbacks will not impose issues with the utilities or the side yard. Current capital improvement project has actually relocated our sanitary sewer line, which ran down our sidewalk. It's now been moved into the parkway. So I'm assuming those setbacks were there for city utilities and for access to the utilities. They are no longer an issue. Water and gas, opposite side of the street. The new location for the sewer line is 17 feet away from our property line out in the street, and it's 12 feet away from the old sewer. So we submitted the project as we required. Technical Review Committee had no really significant issues. Our public notice returns had 4 in favor, 0 against. Planning and Zoning Commission was not very supportive. They said because of the setbacks, they just didn't believe it should be approved. I did understand from sitting in on that commission meeting that there is future discussions coming from the UDC revisions to maybe supplement and help make it easier for folks to get carports that need them, that are currently being restricted and can't. There are many carports in our area. Some are permitted, some unpermitted. I've seen them. We did get a neighborhood petition together. I talked to my local neighbors. We had over 10 signatures in support of the project. And real quickly, I have 2 here. If y'all please stand real quick. Thank you. The rest are working. They're elderly people, and they couldn't really make it tonight. So the project's very important to us as owners, and I just kind of want to show you now. I did sit in on your YouTube channel work session today. You guys have put in a long day. I didn't realize how long you worked today. But y'all have already seen this slide. I wasn't sure how much you would have seen, but our property is located in the old central part of Irving when that house was purchased. Again, you've seen this slide. Those are existing carports. We're actually in the blue right up in here, which is kind of central to the other carports. I put this slide in. I know you saw it. I was really confused with some things. Again, I think it was Councilman Zapata who was asking about the sidewalk. We had no sidewalk when the house was built. The sidewalk is actually right here at the front of the house. So you have to walk up the drive to get to the sidewalk. That's how the access to the house. And then there's a flower bed right there. It's all bushes in the garage. So everything butts up against the house. There's not much leeway. I kind of looked at the UDC codes. I was really confused about this setback, talking about 30 feet. I saw 30%. I don't know where that came from. So honestly, I'm confused about the whole matter. But what we're asking for is what we need. And this is why. The drive was widened because I had to recently purchase a big truck. My parents have a farm. We needed to pull equipment down on the farm, so I need to get it up out of the street. It's 20 feet long. It's a quad cab Ram diesel. So it's a large vehicle. My wife drives a Durango. They're both fairly large Dodge trucks and a Dodge Suburban SUV. So that's why we had to widen it. And also the carport 20 by 20 would actually cover those vehicles. We don't ask for any more than we need. Just kind of a street shot showing you that the old sewer line used to run through here. It's now been moved out here. And again, there's no water and gas over here. Everything's on the other side of the street. You see our zoning sign is out front. Just a different angle. And I just wanted to run through the neighborhood real quick. I'm not wanting to point out anybody's carports or bring attention to them, but just show you there are many in the neighborhood who have had front setbacks and side zoning variances. This is around Finley on the corner from me, right against the property lines. Again, against property lines. Nice carport against property lines. This was a very nice one, extended way out front. I'm guessing it's probably pretty close to the, property line itself. Again, side variance, front variance. So there are just many examples, and there were some here on the side I was kind of interested to see that many have built them on the side. We don't have that option. But they're right up against the property lines here as well. So having said that, I just kind of wanted to show you, I actually worked with Haley Riddick in planning and zoning. She was very helpful. This process was not easy. I mean, it's kind of cumbersome for a first-timer to try to get involved to do something like this. I started working on a carport, thinking about it in 2018. And here it is, 2025. That's how long it's taken me to kind of get to this point. So I started doing some measuring. You can see I had paint all over the driveway. People thought I was crazy. But the actual property line is about 5 feet behind the sidewalk. When we first started this process, I was told the setback was from the back side of the sidewalk. That was in 2018. And so anyway, property line being where it is, we need, for our 20-foot carport, it's about 8 feet from this property line. They were suggesting 10, but 10 is not adequate to cover my truck. So All I'm asking for is a couple of different feet there, but that's all we're saying is 8 feet off the property line, and of course, the side variance to cover the two driveways. And that's just showing you the driveway is actually, the property line runs right through here. So our driveway is not widened into the property line, but we want to be able to put it over the sideway of the driveway so we can cover all the cars. And that vehicle there is a classic, it's fixing to be sold, so it's going to be out of the way. This is a copy of our petition. I actually turned in the original copy to Jocelyn Murphy out front. She said it would be coming to her anyway, so the original's here on file for records if you need it. And what I'm looking to do is build something similar to this one on Cartwright. It's a very basic steel structure. It's not attached to the house. It's very nice and complementary to the property and sturdy and protects the vehicle. Mine would, of course, have to cover 2 drives and not the one. But that's what I'm approaching here. And we respectfully ask you for your approval. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, the wife and I think Joy may have something to say real quick.
I just want to thank each one of you for considering the need that we have to just
1 minute
protect our
left.
vehicles. Thank you.
1 minute?
Mr. Tillman? Yeah, Tillman.
Yeah, you have 1 minute left to finish your discussion.
Always give a 1-minute warning.
Okay. And I think Councilman Block had some concerns about the approach as well. Honestly, that confused me. I did ask for a wider approach. I contacted Capital Improvement, Streets, and Inspections. I can't widen to the north because apparently you can't have a street cut into your neighbor's property line. And that's in the street. It's not in their property line. So I don't understand why there's that setback requirement or restriction. The other one can be done later. So we decided, yeah, go ahead and do that, but you can do it later if you want to. So I just kind of waited to see what's happening. I'm not going to spend a bunch of money on something if I can't get it done. So we thank you for your time. And if you have any questions, we'd be glad to field your questions.
Rick.
Al?
Yeah, Mr.
Al?
Kelman, would you go back on your slides all the way to the one that shows your actual, where your 2 vehicles are, and it shows that driveway? Because I wanted to basically respond. Keep going, please.
Oh.
The one that shows the street and why I brought up the question. Keep going.
That one?
No, keep going. One more. Well, that's okay. You can leave it. Go back to that one. Do you see where the truck is?
Yes.
And you see that it goes right on to the curb. That was the big question that I had, and you already know about the left side of things.
Yeah, we don't drive on our curb. Yeah. All you got to do is pull in the driveway and you can angle over. It's not a problem.
I understand.
We do it all the time.
I think wanted you to know why I was questioning it.
Yeah.
Because at this point.
I understood your question. I just want to make sure that it was clear how we approach our house.
Jocelyn, you got a second?
That's it.
I appreciate it, because I know what you're doing and I understand what you're trying to get done, but I want to be sure that we understand what we are dealing with.
Yeah, and like I said, the north side has been widened in 1990. Years ago, we had a permit for a house improvement, and that was part of that.
Great.
With a wide truck coming in, you couldn't get the 2 cars side by side without hitting doors. I mean, it's that close.
Okay, great. Jocelyn, let me ask you a question, if I can. On that site, during the work session where the SUV is, that we talked about, or you mentioned that they basically will have to do something with that about 10 feet or thereabouts of removal or change, as well as addressing the actual curb, because I noticed that it goes awful quick. There's on the other side, it looks like a curb, that whole little section. Can you kind of help orient me on this?
Sure. Yeah, Jocelyn Murphy, Director of Planning. I've talked to Dan also just a minute ago, and he said that something can be worked out. So if this is approved, and even if it's not, even if they leave the flat work like this, they would still need to flare out the driveway more. Yeah. So he said that more conversations need to be held with traffic to see. For sure, on the right side, it could flare over, and they'll just have to see what they can do on the left side along the property line.
Great, thank you, John. I wanted you to know we're trying to help you, okay?
I appreciate that.
But we've got to also deal, because if we start passing something like this, we set a precedent.
And I certainly understand that, you know. And having seen that there were so many carports in the neighborhood, I think I last saw that the last was approved in 2006, so it's been over, what, 20 years? It's because the city's made it so complicated you can't build one.
Anyway,
Thank you.
Thank you.
John?
Thank you, Mayor, and I appreciate the thoughts on, or the feedback on the, I just wanted to share, because this is something that it took me a while to kind of figure out. You were asking about the code says 25 feet setback. You're being required to observe a 30-foot setback. That's something that took me a while to get my head around as well. So that's basically, this is, I guess, education for the public, for anyone that might be interested in knowing. Although the code does have a 25-foot setback as standard for that zoning district, if an existing neighborhood observes a different setback for a large enough portion of the street, that becomes the setback for those properties. So that's why it's 30 feet. But really appreciate you coming out and the presentation.
Any other questions? No other questions? I'd entertain a motion.
I got a couple,
Sure.
just a couple of questions, so that I can understand it. So, and I guess I'm talking to, Dan, or I'm talking to somebody, but, so to make this work legally, the approach would have to be the same width as the driveway, right?
Correct. Or the 10-foot, the pavement would have to be taken back 10 feet. It's kind of a strange regulation, but where they have the two side pieces of concrete would have to be taken back to a 10-foot point. So one or the other. Because we're trying to keep people off the curb.
So can the homeowner or with the city on the right side of that photo take the approach out? Can the homeowner do that, or does the city have to build that approach?
So the owner would do it with a city permit because they're working in the city right-of-way, so the answer is yes to both.
So they can move the approach over to satisfy the right side of the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know, I think you said it was 20 feet. So if you do that, then what would then be the issue with the actual approach on the left side? Would it still not be wide enough, or?
Traffic said that they'll work with them. They'll try to figure out what they can do. What you don't want to do is have the flare come out and cross the property line.
Right.
But he said that they could probably work something out to at least widen it a little bit on that side.
Okay. And that's what I'm getting at. You know, of course, everybody know me. I haven't met a carport that I didn't like. Okay, I'll just simply tell you why. Because, you know, I'm a person that believes that when people want to better their property, better themselves, and they want to do something to help themselves, I'm going to help them as much as I can. If it's a nuisance, if I got a bunch of neighbors down here saying, no, I'm in opposition to it, you know, then, yeah, I'm going to really take that into consideration. But my philosophy is I don't live on that street. Probably won't be going up and down that street. I don't have a house on that street. It's not going to affect me at all. Okay? And that's how I look at it. And if the neighbor's okay with it, I have no problem with it. But I do want it to comply with whatever our laws are, and our rules are, our ordinances are. But I think, hey, that's a very good-looking pickup. I got one, but it ain't that good-looking, you know. But at the end of the day, if you're wanting to protect your vehicles, I'm going to try to help you out as much as I can. Now, one question I do have, though, is normally when we have these type of corporate cases, you know, we want you to tie them into the house. I know on this one, you're talking about moving 2 feet away from the house and then starting it. Would you be amenable to tying it back into the house, and then that moves it back 2 feet?
The reason I'm hesitant to do that is because we had a room addition put on in the back of our house years ago. When you do a cut into a roof like that, you run the risk of leaks that don't show up until later.
Well, if they do it right, they will never show up.
Well,
I
I
used to do
understand
roofing
that.
and
Supposedly it's done right, but you don't know. And my hesitant, and also for the additional cost of doing that. And I understand now that that's not required. So I want it as close to the house as I could get it, but not tied into the house. And the reason I have the 2-foot setback is because my roof edge sticks out a foot from the house. The property line is measured from the face of the house, 30 feet. My roof sticks out a foot. So the 2-foot was there because I have just a foot between the roof and the carport to put in my guttering, and so I don't channel water on my neighbor.
Okay. I would really prefer you tie it in. I know I can't make you do it. Okay.
Well,
but
if you'll pay
it's
the bill, I'll be
just-
glad to do it.
Well, and the reason I say that is because I've got to be fair to everybody that I look at their corporate cases. And, you know, I want to try to help you here, all right?
I appreciate it, Councilman.
Yeah, so I'll vote to approve it, you know, and then let staff work to make sure it works right for everybody.
And that's why I went through this process. I mean, I could have just had it built and be like everybody else and ask for forgiveness, and I don't want to do that. I want to have it be upstanding up front with you guys because, quite frankly, my street's a busy street, and I'm sure code enforcement or inspection's going to drive up down there and say, hey, what are you doing? But I want to be upfront with it. I'm not trying to hide anything. I want to meet code. I asked about the approaches when I called about the carport.
Okay. Well, I'll vote to approve it, you know, and staff, y'all can work together and try to make this work, because at the end of the day, I think that's my responsibility anyway up here as a council member, to try to be fair to all the citizens and to work and do what I can to help citizens enjoy living in the city of Irving. So,
Thank you, sir. Any more questions?
Rich? Can I go? Al? No, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Okay, Mr. Kelman, we're going to try to help you, but I want to be really clear that and is Mrs. Kelman, can you join us? And you were gracious enough to be with us. And I know that if he says yes, you're going to make sure he does it. Am I right?
She has hearing aids, what?
All right. So do I, but we're both in trouble. Okay. What you heard Jocelyn Murphy say to you and say to us, that working with our head of our traffic and transportation, Dan Vedral, along with her, if you are agreeing to comply and work with them based on what they just said, then I'm prepared to move a motion to support it, okay? But I need to hear it from you.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you.
Okay,
And I did contact traffic about that approach,
great.
so
Okay,
it's not
thank you.
anything new to me. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, if there's no other comments, I'd like to make a motion.
Okay.
Oh,
Just
excuse me. Go ahead.
quick comment. Oh, yeah. Similar to what I usually say, which is that I disagree with the approach of basically just rewriting the ordinances every time a case comes up. I appreciate your concerns, but that's not what the ordinance provides for, and I haven't heard any sort of explanation of hardship. So I'll oppose the case.
Okay, and no other comments? Al?
I make a motion for approval? 4.
No other comments? We have a motion and a second. Would you please vote? And it passes 6-3. Next item on the agenda is 2025399ZC, considering a zoning change from SP 2 R6 Generalized Site Plan, Single Family Residential 6, with variances to the minimum front, rear, and garage door setback, and a minimum lot acreage to SP 2 R6 Generalized Site Plan, Single Family Residential 6, including prior variances to the minimum front, rear, and garage door setback, plus an additional variance for an 11-foot, 2-inch rear yard setback at 1400 Ethan Drive. Is the applicant with us? Good evening.
Alfredo Valdez, 8462 Deep Haven Drive, Dallas, Texas. Good evening, council and mayor. My name is Alfredo Valdez, Jr. I grew up in Irving and have proudly owned and operated a local business in the city for more than 25 years. My goal with this project is to move back to Irving so that I can be closer to my business and continue contributing to the community that has supported me for so long. I am the owner of the property located at 1400 Ethan Drive and I'm respectfully requesting approval for a rear yard setback variance from the required 15 feet to 11 feet 2 inches. This variance is necessary to allow the home to properly position on the lot while still complying with the required 20-foot garage door setback along Ethan Drive. Without this relief, the garage cannot be placed legally without causing significant interior structural issues, including major disruptions to the stairway configuration, interior circulation, and overall structural stability of the home. As a corner lot, this property is subject to 2 front setbacks, one along Ethan Drive and one along Ballywood Road. These dual setbacks, combined with existing utility and drainage easements, substantially reduce the buildable area and create a unique hardship not found on standard interior lots. Attempting to design the home strictly within the current setback requirements would force substantial compromises to both safety and functionality. The stairway layout, supporting structure, and interior flow would have to be altered in ways that negatively impact the integrity, efficiency, and long-term durability of the home. The proposed 11-foot 2-inch rear setback will continue to provide appropriate separation from neighboring properties and maintain adequate drainage. It will not negatively affect the character or appearance of the surrounding neighborhood. Rather, it simply allows the minimum reasonable adjustment necessary to construct a safe, functional, and well-designed home on a uniquely constrained lot. I have worked carefully to ensure the home's design remains compatible with nearby properties and consistent with the spirit and intent of city standards. I sincerely believe that this variance represents the least amount of relief required to make reasonable use of this property. Thank you for your time, your consideration, and your service. Thank you.
Thank you. Question. Sinead, do we have anyone to sign up on that?
No, sir.
Okay. Questions? John?
No questions, just a motion for approval.
The only comment I would make is when we have something like this in a backyard, a lot of times that raises the backyard and then we have a drainage. Is that something that we can oversee?
So I do have a site plan of the plan.
One of the challenges is that when people start filling in their backyards, then it gets to higher so that it doesn't drain either forward.
Correct. So here's a existing building line right here on this blue line. This is the requested building line right here. And this is my 10-foot drainage easement. So it's not going to interfere on this side. So it still is below on the other side of that.
So you're out of the drainage easement?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So we have a motion and a second. Please vote. It passes 8-1.
Thank you.
Brings us to item number 44, which is 2025400ZC, considering a zoning change from R6 Single Family Residential 6 to CO Commercial Office, 519 Joffrey Drive. Is the applicant with us?
Yes, that's me.
Good evening.
I have slides. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to present my case. My name is Corinne Gonzalez, 2340 Kings Country Drive, and I'm the applicant for the rezoning request for 519 Joffrey Drive. It's the house with the blue circle. As you can see, it sits directly beside long-standing auto and light industrial uses. I'm requesting a zoning change. Planning and zoning recommended denial on the basis that the property's business office future land use designation may have been applied in error. Because that conclusion affects how this case is being framed, I want to address the future land use history first. Last year, when preparing a different rezoning application for the same property, I contacted planning staff to confirm the future land use designation. Staff confirmed that the property is designated business office and explained that any rezoning application which conflicted with the future land use map must be accompanied by an application to amend the comprehensive plan. That requirement was applied to me, and I followed the city's process as instructed. My request to amend the future land use designation away from business office was denied by the council, and the designation was upheld. I believe that the existing future land use designation has been in place since at least 2017, when the comprehensive plan, I imagine, Irving, was adopted, and maybe it might predate that. If the comprehensive plan was arbitrary or unimportant, it would not have made sense last year for the city to have required a separate $500 application to amend it. Furthermore, if the designation had been applied in error, a correction would have been made at that time. However, the current designation was reaffirmed by the council in August 2024. Allowing an adopted future land use designation to be set aside the moment an applicant relies upon it defeats the purpose of having a comprehensive plan. The plan is intended to provide predictability, and I relied upon it when I tailored this conforming request. This is a satellite map of the surrounding area. The house is in blue, and the commercial uses are in red. To the south, the adjoining property includes Tony's Auto Upholstery, JB Auto Service, XL Auto Parts, Irving Mower Repair and Axle Warehouse. The rear corner touches Alonzo's Auto Repair, and directly behind the property is Urban Infra Construction, which stores and maintains heavy earth-moving machinery. Approximately 250 feet south across Pioneer is the Owen Corning's Roofing and Asphalt Factory. This is not a quiet interior block. The corridor has functioned as a transition zone between commercial and industrial uses to the south and west, and the residential neighborhood to the north and east. A low-intensity daytime office use is more compatible in this location than continued single-family zoning. Commercial office is the city's lowest intensity commercial zoning category. Uses occur primarily during normal business hours within enclosed structures with minimal noise and traffic. These are modest professional or community-serving uses that can easily fit within the existing footprint of the house. The request does not expand the building or propose high-impact redevelopment. It simply aligns with the zoning. It aligns the zoning with the city's long-adopted plan. I'm requesting commercial office rather than professional office to preserve reasonable flexibility for future occupants while remaining within the same office-oriented future land use category designated by the city. I'm not aware of any neighborhood opposition to this application. To conclude, I respectfully ask the council to approve this request for commercial office consistent with the city's comprehensive plan, its long-range vision, and the council's prior decisions. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Al.
You are aware that you have no letters of support. In fact, you have, I think, 6 that have come against and recommending denial and not supporting it. No, let me finish. And that you have all 9 of our planning and zoning commissioners recommending denial. So unless I'm missing something, would you like to speak to that?
I was not aware of any letters of opposition sent regarding my rezoning application. Now, last year in 2024, I was sent a couple of opposition letters related to that application, and I would have thought that for this year, for this application, those would have been provided to me. If I know Gina might have been sick I don't know if that's,
Well, unfortunately, I cannot support this effort. Thank you.
Jocelyn, do we share with the applicant when there's opposition? Okay. Abdul.
Thank you, Mayor. Based on the outcome of P&Z and based on the comments from the fire department and the staff, if there is no further comment, I would like to make a motion to deny.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Would you please vote?
And Mayor, as y'all are voting on this item does require supermajority vote.
Motion for denial.
And the motion for denial passes 9-0. The next item is ordinance 2025-401ZC, considering a zoning change from ML 20A Light Industrial 20A to SP2 ML 20A Generalized Site Plan Light Industrial 20A with the additional use of storage and repair and electrical commercial vehicles at 6029 Campus Circle Drive West. Good evening.
Good evening, Your Honor. Gentlemen, my name is Rob Baldwin. I office at 3904 Elm Street, Suite B in Dallas, and I'm here representing the property owner, and they would like to get Tesla into this space, about 31,000 square feet for their semi-trucks. As Jocelyn said at the briefing session, it's not a big service center. They will be mostly replacing batteries. There'll be no batteries stored on site, no trucks or anything stored outside, no outside storage. They'll come in, get the work done, and leave. So it's not like a typical trucking facility. Being that it's electric vehicles, there's no oil, lubricants, transmissions, and that kind of thing. Very quiet, very clean, direct access to 161. I hope you can support this. I'm here to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
David.
Yeah, I talked with the fire department beforehand.
It was in my notes to bring that up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just making sure you're going to comply with everything. And they said you've been very good to work with.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, totally will do everything the fire department asks us to do. I understand anytime you have electric vehicles, it's a special hazard, and we have to get special sprinklers and fire suppression, and we're not asking for any variances to the city requirements on that.
Right. Plus, our chief's looking at the lithium-ion batteries a lot and making sure that, keeping the community safe, which...
And that's why no batteries would be stored on site.
Okay.
They'll come in as needed and taken away.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
A motion to approve?
We have a motion and a second. Would you please vote?
Thank you very much.
Item number 46 is 2025-404ZC, considering a zoning change from SP1 to CC Detailed Site Plan Community Commercial, including drive-in restaurant, to CC Community Commercial, 1445 North Beltline Road. Is the applicant with us? Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Cornelio Alvarez, and I live on 4226 Falls Drive, Dallas, Texas. That's what we're looking for, is just to build, instead of being a drive-in, we're trying to change it to a drive-through. That's it.
Motion for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Would you please vote? And it passes unanimously. Okay, item number 47 is confirming the appointments by the city manager of an alternate commission to serve on the Civil Service Commission for a 3-year term. Al, are you
Yes,
doing
I
that
have a
one?
motion, Mayor, but with your leave, I'd like to give our prayers to the family of Paul Silverman, who is a member of our Parks and Recreation Board, who has now passed. And it's something that we all know because he did a lot of work, both voluntary and all. So I just wanted to make that statement on our behalf.
He passed, yeah.
With that, Mayor, I'd like to, on our item 47, I'd like to move to confirm the appointment of Ayman Rajan to serve as the alternate commissioner on the Firefighters and Police Officers Civil Service Commission to the term of office from October 2nd, 2025 to October 1, 2028.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Would you please vote? And it passes unanimously. Item number 48 is resolutions to the Irving Flood Control District IFCD Section 1 and the Irving Flood Control District IFCD Section 3 boards. David, you have that?
Yes. I move to appoint Timothy Kaprowski and reappoint Kevin McNew to the Irving Flood Control District Section 1 to terms expiring January 2028, and reappoint William Correa and Anna Rocio to the Irving Flood Control District Section 3 to terms expiring January 2028.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Would you please vote? And it passes unanimously. That brings us to the end of our agenda. Under the mayor's report, I just want to wish everybody happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. This is our last meeting of the year. I want to take the opportunity to thank the gentleman that I have the privilege to serve with on the council for all the work that we've been able to accomplish in the last year. I'm very proud of each and every one of you and what we've been able to accomplish. We've achieved a lot over the last year. You drive around our community, you can see new homes, you can see new businesses, but more importantly, you can see more jobs for the residents that live here in our city. I also want to, while we give direction and policy, it would not happen without the leadership that our employees received from Chris Hellman and his team. Chris, you and your team, streets, parks, libraries, recs, billing, accounting, everything that makes this city run, keeps us with a AAA bond rating, and gets us the best bang for our buck. The work that they do to receive grants and zero interest loans, as well as so many things that go on as we meet every couple of weeks and talk about zoning cases. The staff that Jocelyn and your team and the work that you do is very much appreciated. So I want to wish all our employees happy holidays. I want to make sure that they understand and thank them for all that they do within our community. The success of our city is because of our employees and the work that they do, the day-to-day getting up and coming out and making sure that whatever department they're in, they give it their best. And when they give it their best, we look the best. And so I want to wish everyone a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and look forward to next year. Thank you.